Welcome back, everyone. Now, the importance of youth sports is widely acknowledged, from mental to physical benefits. Sports teaches our children teamwork, builds confidence, and can provide an escape. But for one Utah professor and father, there's room for improvement. We have BYU exercise science professor and co-founder of Strong Youth Project, Matt Seeley, with us. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kristen. I'm glad to be here.
I think you might be our first guest here on ARC Salt Lake, by the way.
So I'm honored. Had no idea.
Yeah, welcome.
Well, we know that Utah sports culture, especially when it comes to youth sports, is growing. It's big, but you personally have seen parts of it that surprised you. Can you go into that?
Right. So I think I have to go back to my youth to fully explain. I grew up in a small town in eastern Utah where everyone played the sport that was in season. So in the fall, we played football. In the winter, we played basketball, and in the spring, we played baseball. So that was my youth sport experience, and I got a lot out of it. And I learned quickly, while raising my own children, that it's quite different these days.
Right.
How is it different?
So my son is a soccer player. My oldest son is a soccer player, and there's a fall season and a spring season here. And there's also a winter season, I've learned, in addition to numerous summer tournaments that many teams participate in the summer. So many kids in Utah who play soccer are playing year-round.
And that's, we were talking earlier, as a soccer player myself and playing Division I, I did play year-round. And that can be a lot for youth. What have you seen as far as that, the impact?
So it is a lot. And the scientific data are really clear that when you participate in youth sport year-round, your risk of musculoskeletal injury increases, as does your risk of psychological burnout. And you're more likely, not surprisingly, to drop out of sport altogether.
I can relate to the burnout.
Right.
You played sports.
I played baseball, a little bit of soccer, but I think what was really good about my parents and switching over from football to volleyball is my parents, not pushing one individual sport, allowing me to search for what I really, really enjoyed, and I had fun, but still enjoyed being competitive.
Yeah, I think that's the key. One of the keys to remember is that kids participate in sports primarily for two reasons. The first is to have fun, and the second is closely related to be with their friends. And when kids aren't having fun, they're less likely to stay in sport, not surprisingly. So it sounds like you had wise parents.
There are, stories that we hear, and of course, we not too long ago, folks were talking about the NBA draft and of course the NFL draft, and football is a big deal across the country, and so are the other sports, but in particular with football, a lot of times families are kind of putting a lot of pressure on kids, young boys in particular, to just think nothing but their sport and to do it all the time, kind of grooming them, but you see that there are issues with that.
Yeah, so I'm a numbers guy, so I think about numbers often, and if you're shooting for a D1 college scholarship or a professional contract, it's somewhat irrational, really, if you look at the numbers. Less than 1 in 100 youth will go on and play collegiate sports. And then of those collegiate athletes, 1 in 100 of those athletes will go sign a professional contract. So if that's your end game, then I think it's unwise.
You would say the odds are against them?
That's right, yes.
So you want to limit their expectations going into it.
Yeah, and that's a tough line to walk. I have a 9-year-old at home right now. He's pretty sure that he's the next Steph Curry. And who knows, maybe he is. I hope he is. I'm not an expert parent, but I've learned as my kids have aged, they've learned that they may not be able to become a professional athlete. So I think what you said earlier is you let the kids figure it out for themselves.
And how do you find that balance, right?
Yeah,
it's tough.
It's really tough. It's really hard. So I often have a conversation with my wife. We remind ourselves, what's the end game here for youth sports? And if it's a pro contract or a collegiate scholarship, then I think you're misguided. The end game should be physical fitness, mental wellness, resilience, interpersonal skills, teamwork, learning to overcome failures. Those are all attainable for all youth athletes if we do it right.
Did you already see results immediately from this project?
Yes. So we're one of the first aim is to educate people about youth sports, and we've had a Strong Youth Conference recently where we filled the house and people came and learned about relevant topics like nutrition, psychology, body image, self-esteem, musculoskeletal injury prevention. We're now beginning a research study. Research always takes forever, so we're not seeing results yet, but we're collaborating with Intermountain in trying to identify risk factors more clearly that lead to high school athletic injuries, and we're hoping to mitigate those once we identify the risk factors. But yeah, I think we're making a dent, but this is a really complex, big cultural problem.
Right.
It's going to take some time.
We were talking earlier about nutrition, and you just kind of touched on that. Has kind of grown in education about it and the importance of eating certain foods. What about, doing specific kind of stretching or yoga or cardio? Has there been kind of a change in that and the importance of kind of doing these things kind of off season or maybe just, before you're playing?
Yeah, it's funny you ask me about stretching. That's a soapbox I often like to get on. It's misunderstood. I think we're slowly changing beliefs about stretching, for example, and you could argue, you could have the same conversation about sleep or nutrition, body image. But I think we're slowly making progress. We're informing coaches and parents about scientific evidence. But if you go to a youth athletic event, you'll still see things being done that just don't make sense from the scientific perspective.
What are some of those things that are being done?
I'll give you an example. I was at a soccer tournament last year, and the coach was, it was 100 degrees outside. The coach was lecturing his team about a loss that had just happened 5 minutes ago. And he was telling them that they had started to cramp up towards the end of the game because they hadn't warmed up properly. And so here he is. He's out in the middle of the field. It's 100 degrees. They should have been in the shade. And he's telling them that cramping is associated with stretching, which there's just no evidence to support that idea.
Hydration.
So right, salt and water. You're right.
So your project is aiming to provide education as well. What is the mission overall of your project?
Right, so the mission is to improve the organized sport experience for all stakeholders, coaches, parents, but especially the kids. We're focused, hyper-focused on the kids. We're hoping to accomplish that mission via 3 aims. The first is to educate, which we've already discussed. The second is to conduct original research. I'm a scientist at heart. I have been for a long time. And the third is to implement and deliver scientific-based training programs for local youth now, but we hope to expand it to a much larger footprint via digital means in the future.
And this in return, I believe, would help kids, maybe the youth, enjoy the sports that they're playing more, and maybe even help them from quitting that sport and moving on. And what do you find with the
So
data?
that's the goal. That's why I'm doing this, is in hopes of creating physically fit adults. Mm-hmm. And we do that, we're much more likely to create a physically fit adult if the child stays in sport longer.
Right.
And that's to say nothing about the mental benefits, the emotional benefits as well. But I want to create more physically active adults.
Yeah, that makes sense, because it is a grind when you're just one-track mind, right? Focus on your sport to get to the next level.
Right.
That's all that matters.
Right.
And you're in it, and the burnout does happen. I've experienced it. I've experienced injury throughout my career in sports, and yeah, it's tough to find that balance.
Right.
It's amazing what you're doing.
Right. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
So where can people find more information?
So we're constructing some digital platforms for information. You can find us online. We have a website. Just Google Strong Youth Project will come up. It should be at the top. We have an Instagram account, which I'm slowly learning about, at Strong Youth Project. And we also have a YouTube channel now with a few podcasts. And these digital products are just now getting to the point where I'm not embarrassed to refer people to them. So,
well, great. Thank you so much for joining us
Thanks
today on
me.
our show, being our first guest.
Thank you very much.